On this side. See it?
There is a tube.
Who the fuck did that?
Oh, sorry.
Look at the microphone. Oh, who the fuck?
Maybe from when it fell once. Because it's
that wouldn't put teeth marks on it.
I'm leaving. This episode you're doing by yourself. I'm fucking out.
Somebody fucking chewed on that.
It has a hat on now. I think the metal broke when I dropped it because it's so evenly cut. Well, I have it pressed.
Don't pull it off again.
But it's really even. But that got teeth marks. 2 stupid fucking little. Those are cat teeth marks.
It's on the top and the side. Like they took a whole. They were biting it.
Oh yeah, that's a cat.
It's all on the side.
Oh no. If I see one of them in here, they'll have to get kicked.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. But no, they can't even fucking put their arm under the door. Oh my god.
Well, here we are. Welcome, guys.
It's always a dysfunctional moment. Good morning.
Episode 296. Hello, Dysfunction. I'm Fria.
I'm Crystal.
I have a big ass hole in right here. So if you see it,
nice.
Mind your business.
I have my shirt on backward. Mm-hmm. I was just telling her it says yeehaw on the back, but I couldn't find my other white one. So here we are.
So yeah, here we are. It's been quite a week. We're late.
Yeah.
Well, we missed an episode. We're going to have to make that up. Yeah, I had a real fun week.
Oh god, you guys have no idea how the weekend went, man.
I don't even know how I want to go in. If starting last week, like Wednesday or something. I got my eyelashes done and they're always usually a little sore like that day. But the next day I woke up and they were swollen, like pretty fucking swollen. And
you always have a little bit of irritation, but not like
not
swelling.
My eyelids.
Yeah.
My eyes are usually like red, like my eyeballs.
Yeah.
But my eyelids were completely fucking swollen. So I was like, okay, let me take something. So I thought I was taking Benadryl, but I wasn't. I was taking like fucking non-drowsy Allegra, which I don't know, that might help too.
It does.
But I took that, no relief. So I waited a few hours and then I reached out to the girl like, hey, have you used anything different because my eyelids are swollen and I'm worried. And she was like, oh shit, like let's take them off. And I've talked before about the retention with her, whatever she uses, that shit does not come off at all. Like 2.5 weeks in, it's not coming off. So the next day, it's very, it's on there. So I was like, okay, I took a bath and I was like trying to wait and see, if it went down a little bit. It didn't. So I was like, just at least look at it because it didn't feel tight the night before. It didn't feel like anything was touching my lid. I had somebody fuck my eyelids up before and glue lashes to my fucking eyelids, which sent me to the hospital before.
Yes.
It didn't feel like that. But I was so swollen the next day, I couldn't tell if it was against my eyelids or not because by that point it was. So I make my way over there and she's like, yeah, like we got to take them off. Like, let's take it off. I don't want anything to get any worse. And I was like feeling like shit. And when I first woke up, I thought it was from the meds still not feeling well. But I had like this weird nauseous feeling. And I was like, yeah, let's take them off. We discussed it and we were like, we agreed that we weren't going to use remover because she was scared to put any chemical on inflamed skin. And I agreed because the remover is hella fucking strong and you have to be super careful when you fucking put it on. And like there was a concern because she doesn't have a water source. So she was like, I don't want to get it on there. And then we need to rinse it. I can't properly rinse it. Like, I don't want to make matters worse. So she goes to like...
Because if you put remover on and you open your eyes too soon and it burns, you have to immediately flush your eyes.
Yeah. So she starts like pinching them off, you know, and they were coming off good at first. And like she was being very careful, but then it turned into 2 hours of that on my inflamed eyelids. And basically, long story short, it left me with like very patchy fucking eyelashes. Like a lot of my eyelashes were missing and my eyelids looked like swollen, red, inflamed. I just like had a full on breakdown in the parking lot. And yeah, it was bad. It took like 3 days for me to get the swelling to go down. But I remembered when I had to go to the hospital for an allergic reaction before, all they did was give me fucking Benadryl in the hospital. So I was like, I can do that at home and just keep an eye on it and see, you know, if it gets any worse. So it was getting better just slowly. So it took like 3 days for it to fully calm down, no redness, no nothing, and like look human again. But it was so fucking scary. The next day, dealing with my eye shit was annoying enough. But the next day, I noticed I had like a spot that was itching me, like under my bra on my side. And I went to go take a bath and I see like a trail of fucking red dots. And I'm like... I know what that is. And so I get naked and I'm like looking at my back and it's only one side of my upper back and it's not anywhere else on my body, not on my legs, not on, you know, my waist or nowhere else. So I'm like, this is from that fucking bed. So she has like this big plush cover over the fucking bed, like a blanket, basically, a fluffy fucking blanket. And it's weird because she was like picking at it when I went for my appointment. And she was like, I'm sorry, like I'm going to get those paper covers to put over this next time. And she apologized about it. And I was thinking, that's weird. Like I never complained about it. Like what's the big deal?
And you shouldn't have something like that if you have multiple different
just
people.
Period. Like, yeah, like lice, like anything, you know, like you should have like what a fucking doctor's office or a tattoo place or like massage therapist, what they use, you know, like they don't use blanket material that can hold anything. So I immediately hit her and I'm like, hey, you need to throw that bed the fuck away. Like there's bed bugs. Like I have fucking bites on my upper back, only in one isolated area. I know it ain't from my fucking house. My kid ain't got shit on them. Like I have nowhere else on my body. That's what it is. And, it just made me think, like, did somebody else complain or did you see something?
What were you picking?
What were you picking? And, well, I've seen loose eyelashes on there before, so it could have been that. But, like, why did you apologize? And I've never complained before. So it all just felt a little sus after I come up with bites. I'm like, okay, you know, were you apologizing because somebody else complained about some shit or what? Like, what made you apologize? Because I've been going for months and months and months. You ain't never apologized before. So I don't know. So on top of my eye issue, I also have fucking bed bug bites. So I like stripped my bed, grabbed all my clothes I fucking had on that day. And when I went back for my removal, so that's like 2 different outfits.
I was like just throw it all in hot ass water, dude.
Yeah. Put it all in hot water. Luckily I didn't see anything. And then like, nothing spread as far as bites on me anywhere. It was just, you know, I still have the same marks, but I like took pictures and everything so that if anything new popped up, I would know it wasn't there before. But just like, it's like a nightmare that wasn't ending. And of course she was hell of apologetic. She was like, oh my fucking God, like, I'm so sorry. You know, what do you think it is? What happened? And I'm like, somebody dirty like came and, you know, whatever. Like, I don't know, that shit spreads. So
she needs to disinfect her whole fucking shop.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, old me would have been trying to beat her ass. Let's just be real. But she's very young. And she's not malicious, you know what I'm saying? So this wasn't like her being a bitch about it, or, you know what I mean? She responded the way that she should have, concerned, immediately coming up with solutions and everything.
She wasn't like, oh, well, you didn't get that from
That's
here.
on you.
Yeah.
Or no, she didn't. No, she did the right thing. And, you know, she's very good about doing what's right, making shit right. So, like, I'm not angry at her, but I'm just like, fuck. So she is a young girl. And I'm just like, I tried to, like, give her some advice about how to handle the shit. But it's just like, I guess I needed to be humbled last week. I don't know what the fuck for, but
I'm really starting to not believe in karma, because I feel like I move about treating people
properly.
the way I want to be treated. I would die if I intentionally fucking made someone feel like shit or I hurt them. But the amount of shit that just continues to fucking happen.
Yeah. I think it's to keep you being a good person, to humble you. I'm like, did I call somebody ugly? Was I mean in the last few weeks? Like, what did I do?
I have talked about someone's baby.
It might be your fault. But that would be for you. That wouldn't be for me, because you didn't talk to me about it, did you? You didn't tell me nobody's baby was ugly.
When we were talking about somebody, I did mention that I hate their ugly, bald baby.
Their kid? Not a baby, a kid?
It's almost a year.
I remember you calling a kid ugly. I can't
stand the fucking mom. So.
You called a kid ugly and I agreed. Maybe that was why we were kind of like, fuck that kid, but it's not a baby. That was a kid we were talking about. And we were like, yeah, fuck that kid. That kid's a piece of shit.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
I don't know the baby.
No, I mean, you know the girl we're talking about.
No, I know the guy.
There's not hell of
I know the parent of the kid that we were talking about. Fuck that kid. The baby, I don't know about. I don't know.
Well, I think we're talking about the same, not adult, the same baby, same slash kid. Sometimes I refer to babies as kids.
No, the person that we were talking about don't have a baby. Their kids are like older.
Well, fuck.
So
maybe it is us. But what? No, I feel like this person's a fucking cunt. So
yeah, but the kid ain't. I mean, the kid is, but
it's got her DNA.
The kid is a piece of shit. The kid is an asshole. That I was talking about. I still don't know what baby you're talking about.
Well, I don't know if this one's the baby's going to turn out to be an asshole. It's not even a year, but
yeah, I have no idea who you're talking about.
You'll know. I'll tell you when.
Oh, okay.
But
anyway,
yes. So
maybe that, but that wouldn't be reason for me. I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't tell them your kid is a piece of shit.
And I don't think that's equivalent to you're going to get your eyelashes fucking ripped out and eaten by bed bugs.
Yeah.
All in a 24-hour period.
Right. I didn't rob anybody. I didn't scam anybody. I didn't do anything.
You didn't do
bad.
mean girl shit.
None of that.
And here's the thing. Us doing that between each other is not the same as you approaching that person and being like, your kid's a real fucking dickhead. Fucking, I think you're a stupid bitch. You know? I don't know.
Yeah. I think maybe this was to humble me for a future situation. Maybe I'm going to be presented with an opportunity to fuck somebody over. And this is like putting me in position.
Remember those bugs on your back?
Don't fuck around. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
Remember how bad your eyes hurt for 3 days?
Don't do no shady shit, even though you have this opportunity in front of you. I think that could be it too.
Yeah.
For future situations.
Because I've been really fucking questioning this shit lately. Like,
yeah, it's very frustrating. So just 3 days of Benadryl. It took so long. It was going down so slowly. And my shit was just, the skin on my eyelids was fire. So it was like I was putting Aquaphor on them and then taking Benadryl multiple times a day. And it finally went down completely yesterday.
The thing is, you might in the future need to do patch testing. Because there is something. I know
so the cause, that's another thing we talked about when I went for my removal. The only thing different that we did was a lash bath. And there was a possibility that the wash was old. So she immediately tossed it in the garbage and was like, it could, because I was like, is it old, you know? And she's like, it could be. Like, I've had it in my cabinet. Like, it could. And I don't ever get a lash bath. I've got maybe one from her. So I've had reactions before where like green soap from, you know, when you're getting a tattoo and then adhesive on top of it burnt my skin off. It was the combination of the two.
So something in the lash bath doesn't like what's in the glue.
Exactly. So it could be the soap with the adhesive. Again, different types.
They're not
but
friends.
The same combination, because that's the only thing we did different. So
I hope, because she is a receptive and a nice girl. Nice girl. But you know what I mean.
She is. She is. Yeah.
It's a learning experience. Like maybe go through and like.
Yeah.
Read up on Santa, you know, like don't, if you don't know.
I didn't go to the trap to get my fucking,
right.
I'm not on an air mattress in somebody's garage.
Or in the back shed fucking.
No, this is a business.
iPhone lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a business. Like, so you wouldn't expect this to happen.
Right.
So like.
And never ever put anything that bugs can live in. It needs to be something that can be wiped.
Yeah, like vinyl. It's like that you can spray and cover with paper, like she said, but like that can't hold it. No blankets, no shit like that. That's just not a good idea.
No. Fuck no.
Yeah.
I said fuck no like that because I was thinking of people whose blankets I would never go near. And
yeah, and you're not washing those blankets.
No.
Like, you know, you're not washing that cover. Like, how long has that been on there?
Oh, God.
It's really gross when you think about it.
That's what I mean. Maybe she'll, you know, educate herself on, you know, things that.
For sure. I'm sure she will.
To be safer.
Yeah.
And you can get a water, if there's no like plumbing first thingers, you can get like an Alhambra jug and you can buy on Amazon a pump.
Those pumps.
Yeah. And I think that would probably be a great resource.
I mean, there's no sink, but yeah. She has water bottles, like when she does the lash bath, they have a nozzle on them and shit, but there's no sink. So I think that's why she was hesitant, and the inflamed skin. But anyway, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm okay now. Not happy about wearing strips again. They feel different, obviously. They feel much lighter, I'll say that.
Do they?
Extensions really feel heavy. I remember when I first started getting them done.
You were like, take them off, take them off?
Yeah, they felt so fucking heavy. So they do feel lighter, but like, you know, the corners of a band, sometimes it'll poke you funny, or like you can feel it like shift a little bit or whatever, especially if your eyes water. So I'm not happy about that, but I can put lashes. I mean, I can put strips on fucking in the dark. So
and it takes me 2 hours. So you're really fortunate you can do that.
Yeah. I'm just gonna do that for a while and let my fucking lashes grow back.
At least your lashes grow fast.
Yeah, they do. They do.
The hair on your head.
Yeah. Sorry, let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
I woke up to Naya screaming because she slept through her alarm.
Today?
Yes. That's how I was startled out of bed this morning.
That's nice.
A breakdown.
That's pleasant. Mm-hmm.
And then...
What did she have to do?
She wanted to get makeup and hair on to go to the aquarium with my mom.
Okay.
And then because she wanted to take photos. And instead of just jumping up like, oh, fuck, because I called my mom and my mom was like, I'll pick the other kids, you know, down the street first and I'll move slow. She has about 45 minutes. Instead of like running, she has to fucking have a nervous breakdown and then an anxiety attack. And I usually am very patient, and I was not this morning. I fucking was like, Naya, fucking problem solve, like fucking move it.
I get the feeling and not being able to manage your time like the way you planned and how that throws off everything. But
she loses it.
At some point, you got to realize you're making shit worse for yourself.
That's what I told her.
Yeah.
That's what I told. I get you being upset, right?
Handle it differently, though.
Let's move from here. Standing here and fucking losing your shit for 15 minutes is wasting 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hustle,
You're making it
motherfuckers.
worse. Yeah.
You know? So that's how I woke up this morning.
Fun. That's fun.
That was a good time. And then, oh God, today she hasn't been with me, so I don't know. But yesterday was okay. But the 2 days before that, something has been in her eye, okay? And you know, that's overstimulation city for her.
Yeah.
And so I took fucking iPhone lights and I was like digging in her fucking eye. And I noticed she has eyelashes that grow all the way to the corner.
Yeah.
From the bottom and the top, right? Like in the corner. So I was like, let me pull those out. I pull them out. Something's still bothering her. To the point where, not last night, the night before, she's like, I need something to hold my eye down closed. And I'm like a pirate? And she's like, yes, bitch.
What's funny is I have a medical eye patch in the box.
And
Don't ask why. Don't even ask why I have that. I've had it for years. I have multiple in the box.
I'm coming to get the pirate patch.
I'm coming to get the eye patch. I have it in the box in my medicine bins.
It's nowhere near Halloween, but Naya needs the eye patch.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't have one in our closet here. So
maybe you should think about that.
Add it to your medicine cabinet. Bitch.
Hello,
stupid.
Yeah, you never know when this could happen. No, for real, but also flush her eye.
So we did.
Yeah,
we flushed it. And I picked them lashes out. I don't know if it was because she had been rubbing it and fucking with it. That at this point, because I saw them, they were bending toward her eye. But after fucking with it for so long, maybe she scratched her eye, whatever.
Yeah.
So I turned into fucking tweaker MacGyver, bitch. Took duct tape, made a fucking band with duct tape, folded a paper towel
around it,
like 3 paper towels, so it was thicker. Folded it, put it on her eye.
She's walking around the house with a fucking homemade eye patch on,
looking like a real child of a dumpster diver, bitch. Because that.
I mean, whatever fucking helps. It's better than her screaming and fucking flipping out and making it worse.
If you guys aren't familiar with the behavior of people on the spectrum sometimes, their meltdowns are not fun at all. And Naya is one that will not give a fuck and put her hands over her ears, bitch, and scream. I birthed a fucking lunatic.
And I'm just like, you're really good, because I would not handle that appropriately.
Yeah.
I would not. I would fucking not. Like, could you imagine? I would not.
Bunny wakes you up in the living room, hands over her ears.
I'm putting you
screaming
in a full Nelson. You're going to get fucking dipped on the living room floor. Like, oh my God.
So normally I am very patient.
Yeah.
I've done a bunch of reading and fucking researching and, you know, about, and because I know Naya, I know what she reacts best to. So normally I communicate with her.
Good.
Right? In a way that's best for her. But this morning, bitch, it was best for nobody. I fucking, you know, kids don't think about, maybe my mom, maybe I'm stressing.
Who be wound the fuck up herself.
Maybe her fucking nervous system is about to collapse inside of itself, you know? So, and they're not supposed to, right? But
yeah,
girl, that shit was a lot. So she wore a fucking duct tape fucking eye patch.
Does she still have it on?
No.
Oh.
Did she wear it to the aquarium?
Is it just for that night or what?
It was for that night. And it was only actually half the night, but she ended up deciding it wasn't working well. So then Mark took her headscarf she had, bitch, and tied it sideways around her eye.
Yeah, I would do that just to put some pressure on the fucking eye.
I'm like, who ever thought this is what we would be doing when I was pregnant with my first child? Did you? I never envisioned we would be here.
Yeah.
That's why I warn all y'all.
Yeah.
You better think fucking 26 times about it.
The older I get, and the older the kids get, I notice things, their own little quirks and things. Like, not to be telling his business, but like Stinkers has quite a few.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. And
he probably don't even realize it, huh?
No, I don't think he does. But like the way that he repeatedly leaves things in certain order and shit. And it's like, I have to go behind you every day now for the rest of our lives. And that's one of my chores now, is to go and put it where it's supposed to be, and not this weird system that you have that you keep doing, even though I tell you don't do it. Like little things like that. Like, and I've talked before about how all of them will leave the last like bite or two of whatever it is they're eating or drinking. No matter what it is, they all do it. And it'll be like the last quarter sometimes of whatever they're eating. And it could be candy, it could be a soda, it could be whatever it is, and they will not finish the shit. And I'm like, I don't like
you
to
come
waste.
behind and eat it all.
I usually would, and I'm like,
Carolyn.
I can't keep doing that. Like, I cannot
Fucking
keep
you're
doing that.
You and Carolyn.
I don't like wasting food. Like, that's one of my things, is I hate wasting food. So I'm like, you know, I tried the serve yourself the amount that you're gonna fucking eat, you know, but it doesn't matter what amount is served.
No.
They're going to leave a remainder every fucking time. And P's just started really doing it in the last like 6 months.
Really?
But yeah, and it drives me nuts, especially because she don't really eat at all. So I'm like, girl, you could eat them last few bites, like finish the shit.
Right.
But she can't. And
she's like, no. And I get it.
They all have their own little fucking things. Like,
I get not something that seems so easy for someone else. Like, I cried before. I might have mentioned this, but Mark was like, I got a cheeseburger, and you know, one of my things is
you're pushing your nose down. Pull your fucking mask up or take it out. Yeah.
I have to, you know, when I get my food from anywhere, I have to remake it myself, right?
Yeah, it's really fucking embarrassing sometimes.
Everybody's done eating by the time I'm ready to go.
You have to reassemble your fucking, yeah.
It's just, I cannot. And one time Mark was like, I will give you $20 if you just open that cheeseburger and take a bite.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah.
And I was like, I can't. And he was like, well, no, come on, just do it. I'm going to give you $20. And dude, I started crying because I'm like,
yeah,
you don't understand. Like, there's no fucking way. There's no amount of money you can pay me to make me bite that burger that's so out of order in my brain. Like, no fucking way.
Yeah.
Nope. So I get the not eating the last bite, or you know what I mean? Like, it makes perfect sense to me. And but you get to go behind.
Sometimes I don't want it. Like, because I gave myself the right portion of food. So like, I'm already done. But then I don't want to waste it. Like, oh my God, it drives me nuts. Or just like, I have my own shit, putting shit in order, putting things away in order and shit. And like, they have their own bizarre order that doesn't make sense to me. So I'm like, put it my way. Like, you know what I mean? Otherwise I have to redo it.
It's like the battle of mental illness in the house.
It is. Yes. In 4 different fucking ways. Yeah. Yes. That have to coexist. It's really fun.
We were cracking it. A week or so ago, we were like, all of our kids are some level of special, but they're all different fucking specials.
Yeah.
And that goes for Will's, yours.
It would be easier maybe if like 2 out of my 4 were the same.
Yeah.
But they're not. So it's like they're all fucking different. So yeah, it gets hard sometimes.
When I was reading about the autism, you know, there's a genetic component to it. Mm-hmm. Typically a parent or grandparent, right?
Yeah.
So I was thinking, I'm like, you know,
trying to trace it.
Yeah, and you know, we've said Charlene is definitely fucking.
Oh yeah,
like
100%.
I always thought she was just a fucking bitch sometimes growing up to people. I'm like, why are you fucking so curt all the time?
But
and
we
abrasive?
realized you're fucking autistic.
Yes. Her lack of awareness regarding people interactions and social interactions and
social cues are not something she
she'll
picks
walk up
on.
and just sock you in the arm and fucking think
Yeah.
and you've told her 16 times previous fucking days, like, hey, don't fucking that fucking hurts, bitch. Nope. Like,
Yeah.
just weird. She stands too close to you. And I'm like, Mom. She's like this.
Yes.
And has to talk like this.
Yeah.
It's just very obvious. But I was thinking, you know who else I think, I know he had OCD, my grandpa. But
Oh, yeah.
I think good old Gramps was fucking hovering on that fucking rainbow.
Of course. Well, both sides of both of our families, like both parents' sides had neurodivergence fucking on the spectrum.
Yes. And
Both sides. So it's like, great. Why did y'all reproduce again? Tell me.
right.
Especially mine. Like, what the fuck? I think that was forced. I think somebody decided for them because it was just not a situation where anybody wanted a kid.
God damn. You know, growing up, I thought it was just normal because it's just what my grandpa did, right?
Yeah.
But when I tell you guys, no exaggeration, for my entire life till he died, and this had been going on before I was born for over a decade. He had the exact same fucking routine his whole entire life. I'm talking down to what food he consumed. In the morning, black coffee and peanut butter and toast before work.
Yeah.
He would read the paper, get in the shower, get his uniform on, left the house every morning by 5:30, went and drove the bus in North and West Oakland all day. He would get home by 7 p.m. every day. Every single night of his life, except on weekends once in a while, or on Sundays, he would barbecue steak. He would eat a bowl of fucking wheat checks with sliced bananas and 2 pieces of peanut butter toast and a cup of black coffee. And every single fucking night. There was
not normal.
It didn't matter if my grandma made fucking lobster during the week.
Yeah.
Nope. And I was thinking about that, like, well, bitch, there's your big red flag, dude.
Yeah.
For decades.
And growing up, that was like normal because it was all you saw. So you just thought he had a preference. But yeah.
And his anger, he wouldn't have meltdowns like Naya, but we bought him a lighter that said Grumpy Grandpa. We called him Grumpy Grandpa.
He was not nice. I mean, like,
he was an ass.
Yeah.
You know? I have a handful of moments, that are like nice, and he was funny, but he was a fucking dick, and he was very regimented and like militant about shit. But if his schedule was thrown off at all, and it wasn't his, if he didn't have control and something fucked him up, he would be a motherfucker. And I'm like, there's his meltdown, right? Mm-hmm. And then the uber cleanliness, everything having a place.
My grandpa was the same exact person. Like,
yes, he was.
Things were in its place. If things got moved out of its place, you were threatened to be kicked out.
Yes.
Towels were in their own, like, lined up perfectly. Like, it was like not a fun place to be a kid. Like,
no.
Yeah.
My grandpa would bang on my bathroom door and tell me, turn that fucking water off. Who bathes in this much fucking water? Apparently fucking Bill did growing up, because like crazy. He would come in. If you left that bathroom after a bath or a shower and you did not wipe down the glass doors and the walls.
Yeah. My grandpa was the same way.
He would flip out. He would flip the fuck out. So I was thinking about shit like that and I was like, oh, that's fucking nice. Both sides. Both sides. And nobody was like, this is a little odd. Everyone was so normal.
Yeah.
They were like, that's just what he does.
These were also heads of the household. So it's like, who's really going to tell them in their house? It can't, to relax. No one's going to tell them that. So it's like, we were in their house. Yeah. Yeah. Good times. It was not fun as a kid at all.
No. So you remember how that cord fell last time we were recording?
Yeah. What happened? Did you ever figure it out?
No, but remember how I said I hadn't had an experience since the
Oh, yeah.
machine was going on
In the
when it was
garage.
off in the garage. Stevie, the other night, so I don't know if you guys remember, but when she was little, she woke Mark and I up at like 2:30 in the morning, sobbing hysterically because she had been in the living room. She was sitting on the couch. At that time, we had the couch facing the fireplace, and behind the couch is the kitchen, and it's, you know, open. And she was watching TV, and she had heard a noise behind her, and she turned around, and every kitchen cabinet was open.
Yeah.
And she ran in our room, woke us up hysterically crying, blah, blah, blah. So the other night I'm going to bed. It's like 2:30, and she's laying on the couch, and I'm like, "Why are you out here?" You know, she's fucking a cave dweller in her room, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, "Why are you out here?" And she's like, "Daddy didn't tell you?" And I was like, "No." And she was like, "I'm not sleeping in my room tonight." And I'm like, "Well, why?" And she goes, "Last night when I was sleeping in the middle of the night, or I guess it was like 1 a.m. She said I had woke up, I had to use the bathroom, but I was laying there. It was, you know, dark in her room. And she said all of a sudden I heard heavy breathing in her ear, right? So she laid there for a minute thinking she was tripping. She said, and it did it again, but louder. She said, I freaked the fuck out. I jumped up, and, you know, apparently kids these days sleep on FaceTime together if they're in love, okay?
Okay.
So her and Brian are in love. So she wakes
And that's not who was breathing.
No. So she wakes up, you know, gets Brian's attention, gets him to pay attention, and she's holding the iPad up on FaceTime. And all of a sudden it does the square, and it, because she's still in the dark, but all of a sudden it does the fucking, where it locates the subject, the square, and it zooms in on the area in the dark behind her.
Excuse me?
Yes. She almost shit her fucking pants. So she slept out in the living room the rest of that night. The following night, she was like, I'm not sleeping in my room.
Oh my fucking God.
She said the breathing already made me freak out, but I was like, whatever. She said, but when I was talking to Brian and that fucking thing locked in and zoomed in.
It like focused and zoomed in.
Dark. Yes. That would have scared the shit out of me too.
Oh yeah.
So she'd been sleeping on the couch.
Oh my fucking God. You guys better do a cleanse.
And I said, I know you're all scared and it's, you know, like tripping you out, but it's always been nice. It's never done anything malicious. The garage thing, that was...
I just feel like if you feel scared, it's not good.
True.
If you wake up and you notice something and you're able to brush it off, that's one thing. But if it makes you feel scared, you shouldn't feel scared.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Then that's different.
I agree. Dude, the one that did it for me was the hand.
Yeah.
Hella heavy, like, on my... Dude, that had me about to damn near crying. That I was like, okay, no more. No.
Yeah, I wouldn't be in that room either.
Yeah.
The animals weren't acting any different? Doesn't she sleep with some in her room?
It varies. Sometimes Evie, sometimes there's one, sometimes there's three, sometimes none. I don't know.
I wonder if there was any in there that night, because they're usually good indicators if something is around.
Yes. I'm going to ask her. I forgot about that. You're right.
That's scary. I don't like that.
Fucking scary.
Real quick, I want to say thank you to Kendra Buggy, who sent us $30 for coffee. We bought energy drinks instead. Thank you so much. That was so sweet.
Seriously, thank you.
I have a review. I'm going to tell you guys, do not waste your money on the pickle meal at Popeyes. I tried it. Have you seen it?
No.
It's a pickle lemonade, a pickle glazed chicken sandwich, and a side of fried pickles. And it's a little meal. So it got the pickle lovers' attention.
The only thing I think sounds good to me is the pickle fries, or the fried pickles.
The fried pickles. So I'm like, well, I mean, you could get those all over, you know, so I'm like, whatever, I guess. But I was excited for the sandwich because it has like a glaze on it. And I was like, oh, if it tastes a lot like pickle, and, you know, a lot of restaurants will brine their chicken in pickle juice. So I'm thinking maybe it's really good. Maybe they did that extra or something.
Was it sweet?
The lemonade was so sickening sweet. It like when you first sip it, you taste a little bit of pickle and then it hits you with just like lemonade syrup. It's very gross. It's too sweet. There's one in my fridge right now because Bunny didn't even finish it.
I can't drink lemonade. Ugh.
They got the pickle lovers' attention for nothing. Like they really dropped the ball. I'm pissed. The sandwich was just like tasted like a regular chicken sandwich to me. Excuse me. And the fried pickles tasted like chicken grease.
What?
Tasted like hella batter and chicken grease.
They fried it in the same shit they did the chicken.
So it didn't even taste good. Like fried pickles from the bowling alley are better than the ones that they're serving. So don't waste your money. I saw somebody mention it. It might have been on the Facebook group or something. And I was like, oh, don't waste your money. I'm going to fucking do a review when we record. I was pissed. I didn't even want to finish it. But I'm so cheap. I was like, I'm going to fucking eat it.
You're like, I have to eat all of it.
I have to eat all of it with an ugly look on my face.
Throw up.
Yes, even though I want to toss it in the garbage. I was so pissed. Yeah, so do not waste your money.
You are Carolyn.
Got my hopes up for nothing.
That's
Why?
really
Because I had to finish it.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I bought it, and I'm like, I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna cook, and I'm not gonna go buy something else. So I have to fucking suffer. Have to finish it. Ate it. Yep.
I have to suffer.
Yep. It was gross too. Really fucking gross.
Yeah, I fucking bet. Something I know we try not to get political on here just because a lot of people use this as a reprieve from real life, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, but you heard about the man from Florida that the Trump administration accidentally deported to I think it's El Salvador or Ecuador. Mm-mm. And they can't get him back.
No.
Let me tell you.
Is he old?
No, he's not. He's fucking young and he has a wife and fucking kid. It's horrible. It's fucking...
I mean, a lot of people are getting fucking...
horrific.
Deported that have been here for 40 fucking years, like, and then some. Like...
Let me tell you what they said about it. So, the Trump administration admitted they mistakenly deported a Maryland father to El Salvador because of an administrative error and argued it could not return him because he's now in Salvadorian custody. Armando Garcia, Salvadorian national, who in 2019 was granted protected status by an immigration judge, prohibiting the government, federal as well, from sending him back to El Salvador. Okay? So he had protection. Mm-hmm. March 15th, although ICE was aware of his protection from El Salvador, they still picked him up and still fucking put him on a plane and deported him to, is it CCOT? It's the country's most notorious mega prison in El Salvador. It's horrible. The reason he fled in the first place was to get away from gang pressure and shit over there, apparently. And our government said one of the reasons they were removing him is because he's MS-13.
So, okay, I get it. They made a mistake and sent him over there. Why can't they let him back in? They're just not.
So they said. So the Trump administration actually argued in court. They actually argued that it cannot bring back Garcia because he's in Salvadorian custody now, and they further went on to knock down and dismiss concerns that he's likely to be tortured or killed while there.
That's still not saying why they can't.
They won't. They just keep saying we can't.
So they're not giving a reason.
No, they're just saying they can't. And he's in El Salvador now. We can't do nothing about it. And
well, hopefully he makes his way back. It's a thing. It's possible. Hopefully he does, and they stay out of his fucking business. I don't know. It's happening a lot. I'm seeing a lot of families being fucking dismantled and people being sent that haven't grew up there, haven't been there since they were fucking 4 years old.
They're sending people to the El Salvadorian prison, not even like back to their home country, fucking to go live in El Salvador. They're sending them to fucking prisons. That's insane. And then one more thing regarding politics, only because it affects us very much. So, tonight at midnight,
The tariffs.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw that.
And so for those that don't know, I'm just going to go over it really fast. I don't want to stay here for a while, but Trump is probably going to impose additional 50% tariff on China this eevening so he already imposed tariffs.
So we already imposed tariffs.
Yes.
They retaliated with what,
a
34 something percent.
Which,
so now he's firing back again, and it's going to be over 100% tariff.
Yeah, because
in return.
Yes, because he was like, if they don't remove those retaliatory tariffs, but
yeah,
it's like, bitch, who do you think you are? So, anyways, sorry, hold on. I'll tell you what China said regarding some stuff really quick. Okay, so the things that will possibly affect, just so you guys know. Sorry, I'm looking for my list. I have so many notes. Restricting U.S. Nope, but China's. Let me go to tell you what it's going to affect for us. It will affect coffee, chocolate, wine and spirits, clothing, shoes, electronics, including iPhones, TVs, as well as watches. Imported watches.
I mean, we have a lot of imports from China, a lot. What I get what he's trying to do. He's trying to improve our economy and have them take some of the slack off of what we pay, right? I get that. But like, he's making enemies in the process. Like, he's not going about this the right way. I do think that we can get these items that we need from somewhere else. He's imposed tariffs on multiple countries.
But the problem with them, right? And the problem with putting them so high, because he's a little dumb, is that what's going to happen is by these other countries imposing their own tariffs, right? And raising them as high as they are being raised, us, the little people, inflation is going to go through the roof. Because if you think Walmart is absorbing that fee, right. You think Target is going to fucking pass down a deal to us? No fucking way. It's greed. And it will fuck us. There's people, I was reading, people are panic buying right now.
Yeah.
Hella shit. They're panic buying fucking dry goods, canned goods, shit like that. And then China had said, so a spokesman had said, U.S. tariffs will approach levels not seen since the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act of 1930, which incited a global trade war and exacerbated, the Great Depression. It's going to set off a trade war if it continues.
We'll see what happens. Yeah. I mean, I just hope that they will come to some kind of agreement in the meantime, because I know they're not going to want to see our economy get tanked, as well as China fuck off their business deals with American, not suppliers, purchasers, the contracts that they have. They don't want to sacrifice all the business that they do here. So hopefully they come to some kind of agreement. I'm not going to be panic buying anything.
No, I'm not either.
We'll see what happens.
I told you, I don't want to be here on a good day, so I'm not.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to let it go that far.
So China has responded by saying, if we want to, they said we are open to negotiations, right? That's what they want to do. But then they said, if we want to ratchet up controls, then we can, including, but this is if he goes through with the additional tariff. They said, we will ban the importation of American movies. We will open investigations on more U.S. companies operating in China. We will also suspend cooperation on curbing. A lot of fentanyl comes in from China. They're going to suspend cooperation on curbing the influx of fentanyl into the U.S., which is crazy.
A lot of fentanyl also comes from Mexico.
Yeah, but I guess the U.S. and China have been working together
to combat.
Yes, and they're like, allegedly, we'll say fuck you.
Yeah, allegedly.
Yeah. So there's your world update for the day.
Yeah, I'm not
panicking.
I'm not concerned. I paid off 3 credit cards this month. I've been using the snowball method. I know I've talked about that before, where you pay off, you put them in a list from the very smallest to the very highest balances. And, you pay off the little ones, and then, the amount that you were paying on those every month or whatever, you carry it into the bigger ones and, and so forth until you get them all paid off.
Yep.
I'm going to have to switch to the avalanche method on some of these because interest is beating my fucking ass. There's cards that are charging me like
a Target card is like 29% interest. I have there's a few that will do 29% interest, which is I don't 22.
I don't know
I think Target's
is it
21.
a flat rate interest for certain,
don't
or does
know.
is it based on your credit?
So
I think that's what determines your credit rate. I mean your APR.
Well, I don't know, because I had a Target card when I was 18 and it was like fucking 19% interest back then. And then I had one 10, 12 years ago and it was the same when I got it. But I don't know what it is today. But I just
don't know if it's the same APR for everyone or if people with better credit get a lower APR from certain lenders.
So I don't think it's based on credit, because Mark has top-notch perfect credit and he has a Best Buy credit card and the motherfucking...
It's high.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah. So like, I have a high balance, like a few thousand balance on like a Priceline credit card. In interest alone, I'm paying like $200 a month just on interest. So I have to like double that payment essentially for it to go down at all. Otherwise, I'm just going to be paying interest every month.
I think that's how it is on my Victoria's Secret MasterCard. It's a really high interest rate. So I basically, if my payment's $100 a month, I've been paying $250 a month.
Yeah. Otherwise, your balance isn't.
It'll never
move.
go down.
Yeah.
Never.
And they count on that. So,
Yes.
that's how they make money.
So explain the difference between Snowball and Avalanche.
Snowball is you pay the smallest balances off first. All the little baby balances that you have on cards, you pay that off first. And then, your score goes up because those are paid off. That's good. The problem is if you're paying a lot of money in interest, it could take a long time for you to reach the accounts that you're paying the most interest on. So they're dinging you every month until you get to that credit card to pay off. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I have like so many cards before that one that are lower balances. So the avalanche method is the opposite. You pay the highest balance, you pay on the highest balances, and then you get to the smaller ones, which, based on the balance owed, like you're not going to pay, just percentage wise, you're not going to pay as much interest on the smaller amounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it does make more sense to do that. So I'm going to switch. I paid off like a few little small ones, and then I'm going to switch and start paying down the big ones so that at some point we can meet kind of in the middle, and then I'll flip it back the other way.
Yeah.
Because interest is beating my fucking ass on like, I have 2 cards that are like really bad. And I just got to pay, get those down.
Yeah. I was looking at my credit score and, there's like 4 things that, when I was on,
Credit
FICO
Karma?
score,
Oh,
the FICO score, I was looking at that. And one of them is length of time you've had credit, which really impacts your credit usage, the amount of different types of accounts. They want to see that you can maintain different types, whether it be a small loan, you know what I mean? Credit cards, blah, blah. And then
inquiries.
Yes, there you go.
Drop your score dramatically.
Yes. Okay, that. And so I was looking, and I'm like, fuck, right? According to my credit, I've only had it 3 years. And that is one of the things that makes holds my credit score. Doesn't elevate it, right?
So what they also look at is your debt to income ratio.
Yep.
So that's like one of the biggest factors. They look at how much you owe versus how much you make on paper.
Yep.
And if your balances are high, you want to keep your shit like 30% and below, because that'll make your shit go down. Even if you make every payment early every month,
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You can't owe them a lot of money.
Nope. Which it's a setup, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
Because if they give you a credit card and they're like, you have an $8,000 limit, but if you spend that $8,000,
yeah, you got to keep it below 30%,
which is crazy. But I did recently paid off my scratch accounts. I had 3 of them.
Is that what you use for the animals? Mm-hmm. Oh, that's good.
I paid those off.
Yeah.
And then I paid probably another almost $3,000. In various parts of my credit. I paid my Capital One off. I paid $800 on my Victoria's Secret MasterCard, and then I put another 12 on my car, right? Mm-hmm. And of course, none of it's updated yet, right? But like probably a week late, not even a week later, mm-hmm. I got a text from Care Credit, and my balance was 3, right? And it was like, your new blah, blah, blah is $5,200. And I was like, hopefully by that going up, that stuff, it'll down, it'll
make your overall, what you've spent with them lower. So when you have a credit increase, that helps. Don't use it, and then it makes your spending look lower. So your overall spending.
Yeah. And then I paid the other stuff because I was at 60% usage. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I need to get that shit down.
Yeah. It's good like once a year to ask for an increase on all your accounts too. Don't do it too often and don't do it too early. But after like 8 months of good payments, you can ask for an increase like once a year. And when you get them, approved for like a bigger credit line, that helps your credit because it makes your overall spending lower.
Yeah.
That's a good way.
Yeah. So I'm fingers crossed, once the paid off shit updates.
Yeah. Credit cards are scary because they give you incentives to use them, right? Yep. So like you get points for Sephora and all kind of shit like when you use the cards. But if you can't pay off the balance in full, like within 2 months, don't use it. Don't use anything higher than, because that's how they trap you. And then interest, comes along and your balance just grows and grows and grows. And it gets harder to unbury yourself. Yeah. So just always like a good rule of thumb is like, can I pay this amount off if I needed to in 2 months? Keep it at something like that. Don't go beyond that amount.
Yeah.
So, Brooke Shields is coming out with a book. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Brooke Shields is Not Allowed to Get Old.
No.
And I want to buy it. It sounds really good. She was in all those really pervy movies as a child. Remember we talked about those before that like portrayed her as, a sex symbol when she was like fucking 11 years old and shit.
They had her posing in Playboy and
yes, shit. She went through a lot as a fucking kid and she's still going through shit to this fucking day. Just a woman is not a good time, but
remember
goddamn.
Tom Cruise giving her hella shit for taking mental health meds?
She fucking no, I don't remember that.
Oh my God.
Were they dating?
Shamed her. No, he shamed her on Oprah.
What?
In public. Yeah, this was about.
Because that's any of his business.
Yeah, this was about maybe 2011, 12. I mean, fucking smeared her for taking.
So bizarre.
Mental health meds. I believe she might have even been postpartum.
So, I mean, I get it. But like, if that's not your partner, why do you give a fuck? Why is that your business?
Shut your fucking mouth. You dwarf.
Abusive
not dwarf.
dwarf.
Sorry, you tiny bitch.
Ew.
I believe she was postpartum on top of that, dude.
Not that she needs a fucking reason. God damn.
Right.
Anyway, she recently had, well, I don't know how recent, but she had as an adult, like in her mature years, somewhat recently, had a labia surgery, a reduction, right? Because of friction, discomfort, whatever. She had this surgery. The fucking surgeon threw in a bonus for free while she was under and did a vaginal rejuvenation without her consent. A man surgeon.
We have a write-in when we do write-ins that is regarding a man doctor. I'm giving a trigger warning way ahead, but the fact that you just read that.
Weird that we always have a theme going when we talk about things.
God.
When I read this, I was like, what the fuck? So I like read further.
Heartbreaking.
She didn't tell her husband for years. She didn't sue the surgeon. She still is like, I hesitated to even talk about this, but she's talking about it in the book. The doctor threw it in as a freebie. What are you doing tightening my pussy for me? What are you even doing in there? I'm not there for that. I'm not even here for that. So, and you go in there, without my consent and you tighten my shit for me. That's so fucking invasive and just disgusting.
What if I liked my pussy exactly how it was, bitch?
Yeah.
And it felt great with my husband.
Yeah. So now she's probably uncomfortable. And she goes on to talk about this and how she kept it from her husband for a while and shit. But now imagine she has to like break that in or what? Like, I was fine. I'm not here for that.
Oh my God, it's making my body feel hot.
Yes. I feel like that's a form of grape in a way because what the fuck are you doing in there? I'm not here for that. Imagine.
No, it's so violating. A friend, you know them, I'll tell you later, but a friend went in for a BBL, lipo BBL and her boobs. Mm-hmm. And the doctor had asked, and she has a fat fucking hookie, okay? And the doctor was like, do you want me to lipo some of that? And she was like, no, leave it. I want it to stay.
Did they do it anyway?
Yes, bitch.
Well, so it's standard for them to ask that. And they asked me that too. And I said no. The last time I should have said yes because did they have a tummy tuck?
No.
Okay. I don't know about BBL wise because I know it's standard for them to ask.
Girl, her fucking puss is like Maria. It's night and day.
So what I was going to say was when you get a tummy tuck, it like grows. It like gets bigger. So I don't know if that's common with a BBL, but it is standard for them to ask that if you want that included in the lipo. I should have got it when I got the tummy tuck because it does grow significantly after that surgery. I wonder, but either way,
but
you have to have consent. You have to have consent either way.
Right.
They could have like explained what will happen after if you don't, maybe.
Right.
But, like,
because why did you even ask, bitch? She told you no, and you still took it. To this day, she's hella mad about it. She should be going after them for multiple things, though.
What the fuck? You just don't do procedures on people without consent. You can express concerns, tell them what the outcome could be, what will possibly happen.
If you keep it, this is what happens.
Right.
Educate me, bitch.
Educate. Yeah.
And if I still tell you no, don't do it, bro. Yeah. It's mine.
That's really fucking crazy.
The fact that he altered her entire life.
Her inside her fucking vagina. Like, what are you even doing in there? That's so bizarre to me because to get a labiaplasty, that's outer. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with outer tissues. You're not going in for that.
I'm
going inside.
At this point, I am so fed up with male doctors.
It made me creep the fuck out because I automatically thought, like, what are you doing going in there? How did you determine I would even be a candidate for something like this? Was I under and you were feeling around? What else did you do? Like, I would be suing them. I hope she changes her mind and gets like some encouragement to go after their license.
I just envision myself slicing his throat because you're rapey, bitch. You're a predator.
Yeah,
you're not.
You had
safe.
no business going in there.
No, and then it's the other day, Naya and I were having a conversation regarding male gynecologists. And she had said,
I don't think they should be allowed.
she said the same thing. She said,
don't.
think about it, mama. You know, we're just having I already feel that way, but
yeah.
And so, I don't care if I offend any fucking male gynecologist, because Naya was like, mama, think about it. Out of all the doctors they could be, why
Right.
do they want to look at pussies?
What's the motivation for that?
She said, maybe I get it if their mother died from uterine cancer or
so then they want to help people.
Yeah,
like,
but she was
still.
like, you can help in other ways, bitch. Go be the chief of a cancer board. That's what she said.
You should be a gay man or not at all.
Are you guys the same person?
That's the only way it makes sense. That's the only way it's going to make sense. If you're aroused by that in your regular life, you shouldn't be working with that.
I will
just
never.
Men, period. Like just men in general. No, just no.
No, the girls, I said, you notice you've never had a male doctor, you or your sister, ever. Never, because I'm paranoid.
They shouldn't be allowed.
And I remember I had a male pediatrician when I was younger, Dr. Bean, and he made me feel so fucking horrible about myself at a time when I already hated myself. I was like 12. I was really overweight.
What the hell?
My mom was gone. You know, my dad's in fucking prison, mental hospital. My grandparents are tired. They make shitty comments under their breath, passive aggressively, you know, like, and I'm fat and I get called fat at fucking school. The boys yell big legs when I walk down the ramp of the portable. You know, it just was a really bad time in my life. And that motherfucker had me get on the scale, a pediatrician, and was like, you're pretty fat. You got to lose some weight. I put that on my fucking children. And my mom was there at the time. She had taken me to the doctor appointment.
Did she go off?
Flipped the fuck out on him.
God. Thank God.
But that fucked with me on
they
top
said
of everything.
In front. They thought that was so okay and so normal. They said it in not only to you, they said it in front of your fucking parent.
You're fat. You got to lose some weight. You know, I had another male doctor. This is why I'm so anti. Well, I've had the one that rubs my leg in the ER when I was having an ovarian cyst rupture. I've just had really. And Mark wonders why I hate fucking men so much. Yeah. Not anymore, but he did. Dr. fucking bastard. He works still, and I don't give a fuck, bitch. He used to be my doctor many years ago. I had just had Naya, and I don't know if you remember, but with Naya, I gained a lot of weight because of preeclampsia. When I delivered Naya, I was like 229 pounds. Mm-hmm. And after going back in the hospital for the eclampsia and taking the meds, you know, some of it came off, but I was still fucking like 180, right? And I had to go to the doctor. I forget what it was for. I think it might have even been for my fucking leg or something. I don't know, but Naya was like 2.5 weeks old. I go, he makes me weigh myself. And he's like, you're really overweight. Maybe you're having issues because you're so overweight. And I started crying, and I was like, I just had a baby 2.5 weeks ago and had hella complications.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Mind you, let me tell you the best part about this motherfucker male doctor. He spray painted his fucking brown hair on. Spray painted. So when he sweats, the motherfucking hair falls. But you got nerve.
I mean, that's so whatever.
To comment on
like,
my weight.
You're a fucking whatever. But like, what? Like, are you fucking kidding me?
No.
I'm surprised you didn't like file a complaint or something.
I did, and I switched doctor. That was the last time I ever saw him. I switched doctors that day.
God, like that should cost someone their job. Like bedside manner, like fucking what is it called? Just couth. Like what the fuck?
No, he has none, because you know what? Pop, my stepdad, Tony, had him as his doctor around that time. Mm-hmm. He told when Tony went in for something, an issue he was having, doctor. I think he's just fat phobic, period, because
Yeah.
then he told him, you're fat. You got to lose weight.
So it's just across the board. It's
He's
with
just a
men
piece of
too.
shit.
It's
Yes,
with men
he's a
too.
piece of
Okay.
shit. But
Yeah. Is he an older man?
he wasn't when I saw him. Maybe fucking mid-30s.
Really?
He wouldn't.
That's not old at all.
Maybe early 40s, but he was not in 50s.
Yeah.
I don't think 50s is old, but
I would expect if in their 50s or 60s to talk like that.
No.
Wow.
Oldest, maybe 45, maybe.
Wow.
But-
Well, he's just fat phobic, it sounds like. I mean, I
Yes.
get it. Weight does bring on some medical issues, but like
I don't know, bitch, read my chart.
find out I just had a baby
I have
and
postpartum depression.
Yeah.
I had hella medical fucking complications. I almost died. Like, dude.
oh my God.
And literally, it was
Disgusting.
2.5 weeks ago. You think I'm going to lose all the weight in 2.5 weeks? Bitch.
Yeah, I just delivered. Like,
Yes,
are you,
yes.
do you read?
No.
Did you read anything about me before you came in here talking?
So I will never go to somebody, unless ER or there's an emergency or, like that. But I will never willingly allow a man who has no idea, can't even fathom my life experience being a woman.
Work on my vagina.
Never.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Because I think their preference comes into play also with what, they think is how things should be. I don't know. That's
Yes.
fucking weird.
And the fact that was done to Brooke Shields, oh my God.
Yeah. Really disgusting, really rapey, really fucking scary.
I wish she would have made noise about it. You
Yeah.
know, she has enough clout. She's well enough known. Hello,
Mm-hmm.
that she could just bring awareness.
But when you're traumatized and
Yeah.
you don't expect something to happen, you don't react the way you think you
It's
would. But it's in a
embarrassing.
book now that's being released. So hopefully
Go after
she gets
him.
some support to fucking, some encouragement
Yeah.
to go after him now. I don't know. I mean, that is a step in the right direction.
For sure. Share his name with us. That's all I want.
Yeah.
We
It's
can do the
fucking
rest.
Terrible. Changing gears a little bit. I was online. I came across a video. I came across a video of a woman making this fucking grim discovery of something that happens during menopause to vaginas.
I know.
And then I saw another video and it's like, oh, like is my feed customized to show me this shit, to shake me up a little bit? So then I went on a little Google search
It could
and
happen.
images and all that shit. So I start researching vaginal atrophy,
It's the menorah, right?
the labia minora shrinking and disappearing
Which
because
is your
of
inner.
it's the outer. Well, yeah, yeah, I guess that's inner. It's outside, but it starts to shrink and disappear.
Yeah, so it's not these lips.
Right.
It's the inside
The small ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're in
So-
well, I don't know. Some are outside the pocket, but
So
those
like
ones.
some people like Brooke Shields that have a what is it called? Labiaplasty.
Yes.
Maybe hold off if you're close to menopause because due to the drop in estrogen, they shrink and they will eventually disappear if you don't
They can. For
lubricate and massage. And there's these things you can do to prevent it from happening. But of course, I go and I start looking at Google images of them missing. And like that happens. You could just have a hole. Like I saw one that looked like a belly button. It just was a hole. It was just like a fucking no.
Sew it up at that point, bitch. Sew my whole pussy up.
Then I
Fuck
go
it.
further and your body will do that also.
I think we talked about this like 3 years ago.
So there's
just briefly.
I've always said, sew it up, just being funny, whatever. If I have another issue, I just want to sew it shut, whatever. Labial fusion
Your whole will.
your body will do it for you. And-
it's basically if you don't use it, you lose it.
Yeah. And there were people that have to go and have it reopened because they cannot urinate or they can't fucking
Yes.
like your body will seal it shut like a Ziploc for you and there will be no, your skin. It'll be just like you're a Barbie.
Yes, and if you don't want to fuck people, fuck yourself. Like I don't know, once a week.
Or massage. They say
Something.
you can massage
Stimulate
and
it somehow.
stimulate for circulation down there to prevent it, because that shit is scary and it can cause further complications. But I'm looking at all these old lady pussies on
It's got to
fucking
be
Google.
painful if that happens too.
Well, yeah, because like if your opening is getting smaller and smaller and you have to pee out of it and eventually you can't pee, you have to go to the ER to have it reopened to release pee. Like, oh my fucking God.
Because your
It's not
vagina's
just
closed and now your urethra fucking
the whole
can't
thing,
release.
The whole thing will seal itself. Like it can start lower, but the whole thing can eventually fucking seal itself off. Like we're closed for business.
It's like you've had enough fun with this for your
so
life.
I was just like fucking searching and looking at all these different, like how, like there's no clit anymore. You're a Barbie. You're a fucking Barbie now. It's terrifying.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's terrifying.
Bodies are fucking, I'm done. I'm so fucking tired of bodies
stupid.
And doing weird shit. And like, what the fuck?
So, okay, speaking of that, right? Speaking of bodies doing weird shit and possible puss closing up, right?
Yeah.
Because of stupid menopause. Well, I'm not going to talk about humans. I'm going to tell you something about cats, but that I think is really cool. Okay. Fuck you.
That I don't care about.
You'll think it's cool.
What is it?
So, what brought me to this? Well, I kind of already knew, but what made me get all excited and go down a few rabbit holes is, so I don't know if you know this, but every cat is either genetically black or orange. There's a black gene and an orange gene, and every cat you see, even though they have
It's just a variation of that.
Of either the black gene or the orange gene.
Wow.
Very cool, right?
Uh-huh.
So, Siamese cat. I was curious because when you look at a Siamese cat, like, the standard ones, not like Leo, who's a snowshoe, but the ones that have the dark brown points, and then lighter fur.
Standard Siamese.
They're like they're thermogenic cats. Basically, in the summer, their color changes from what it would be in the winter because the areas of their body that retain or heat up the most will be darker, which is really cool, right? So
they're like hypercolor. You remember hypercolor clothing?
Yes.
I have a shirt that I bought from a vintage shop. If anybody wants it, it's a long sleeve and the 90s, early 90s, it was really popular. If you heat it up, like the armpits or fucking wherever, if you blow your breath on it'll change.
In that motherfucker.
It'll change color. Yeah, and it still works. It's really weird. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
So Siamese cat, I was like, it could probably go either way, like looking on it. So it's black. Genetically, they're a black cat. So then I'm like reading more. And so something cool about black cats before I tell you the really cool thing. So there's no definitive proof. However, there have been a couple of observations done. But black cats tend to live the longest. And that is just FYI, all these people that don't want to adopt black cats because whatever reason. And the reason is they carry a gene responsible. The gene responsible for black fur is in the same family as a human gene involved in resistance to HIV, suggesting black cats carry a gene which is disease resistant. They carry
So they live longer.
Yes.
And they don't get illnesses as easily as other cats.
Because they carry that fucking gene. And that's pretty fucking cool.
That's interesting.
So here's the part so I was thinking about calico cats, right? Because they're white, orange, and black. What gene do they carry? So male, and typically when you see an orange cat, it's a male cat. And that's due to genes, right? Because, I'm not going to break down the science, but, okay, a little bit here. I'll do it with male calicos. Male calico cats are extremely rare. So while orange cats are typically male, calicos are typically female.
Oh.
And that's because, male calico cats are extremely rare, occurring in only one of about every 3,000 births due to a genetic anomaly that gives them an extra X chromosome. So when I read that, I was like, Does that mean they're intersex? Essentially making them intersex. The calico coat pattern is linked to the presence of 2 X chromosomes in cats. And since male cats typically have 1 X and 1 Y chromosome, they usually do not inherit the the coat pattern. So calico cats, everybody, it's your science for the day, are typically intersex. Male calico cats are intersex, meaning they carry both.
But they're predominantly girls, right? And the orange ones are boys.
Yes. So it's rare to get
when
an
you
orange
get a
girl.
rare when you happen to get a male calico, it's an intersex.
Yes.
Okay.
And
Because
now
they're usually just not boys.
Yep.
Got it.
And then the orange ones are typically
Almost always
boys.
boys.
Yes.
I think every orange cat I've met has been a boy.
It's rare.
And I never noticed that.
yeah, and it's
Very
rare
weird.
to get
Why
a girl.
is that?
I don't know.
Just God said.
I'll update you on Patreon Clubhouse
No.
episodes.
I
We'll
won't be
carry
there.
on fucking
We'll carry on this
Mrs. Terwilliger's
conversation.
Nature Corner.
No.
But, okay, last 2. This isn't cats. But I just want to tell you I learned about these. It's 2 spiders. They're really cool. Okay. One is called a fishing spider.
Please stop.
This is fucking cool. Okay. It's called a fishing spider. It looks like a wolf spider, like that kind of pattern. Difference being its legs are a little longer and its eye pattern is different, right? So you hear the name fishing spider. Does it really fish? Yes. It is a carnivorous spider that hangs out by water, bitch, and eats fish and small crustaceans. Then, last one. There's one.
They're all gonna die the same if I see them. Like this is why I don't care, because they're all gonna die.
You're
like,
so
I'm not
evil.
gonna check their leg length. I'm not gonna check the terrain outside. They're just gonna die.
Okay, but just listen to this one because I just think Mother Nature is so badass. So there's a diving bell spider, right? Also known as the water spider. It lives 85% of its life underwater. Listen to this.
What the hell? That's terrifying.
Let me tell you this. It is also carnivorous and eats bugs, okay? And small crustaceans. It does need to breathe air, so what it does, bitch, is it spins a fine woven silk and creates a diving bell.
An oxygen tank.
It makes its own scuba. They make their own scuba tanks.
gear.
It's sealed so that they can breathe underwater. They make their own submarine.
Yeah. They make their own oxygen reserve. That's interesting.
Fucking badass.
But what my first thought is when I try to rinse them down the sink, that bitch ain't gonna die.
So, well, hopefully they don't be in your house.
Yeah.
But I was like, that's fucking cool.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Very cool. Thank you for coming.
Okay. Back to grape.
Yes. All right.
Russell Brand. You know he's a motherfucker.
Do you know, I hope he gets the max. Him
Yeah.
and what's his name? Danny Masterson?
Yeah.
Y'all can fucking jerk each other
Yeah.
off in prison the rest of your life. Piece of shit motherfuckers.
So he's finally been charged with sexual assault in London.
Did you see what they were saying?
About church.
The motherfuckers that support him were saying, notice how you didn't get charged until you professed your love for God and Donald Trump.
So what he's done is very strategic, and he's got into a community of religion, and it's like he's taking accountability, but he's not. He's blaming it all on drug use.
Nope.
He had an evil spirit at the time, all this, because he knows that church people will defend you to the death if you give your life to God and, repent, basically. So he's found this community that's going to support him through this, which is smart on his part. It's so disgusting because it's like the accountability is not real accountability. You're blaming it on drug. You're not apologizing. You're blaming it on the drug use. I get it. People do change, but just I saw him speak a few times like about the situation, and it's just like very like.
Have you ever listened to his shows?
No.
Girl, he's a fucking right-wing alpha bro, fucking women are beneath me, fucking piece of shit.
I mean, he's always been scum. Like I've seen and heard things over the years just about him being, you know, just sharing views and whatnot. But like about this case, it's like he's trying to say I was in such a dark place that it's just like no real accountability. Like there are a lot of people that are in a dark place and on drugs and they don't go and rape people, you know?
And here's how you can tell that he has not changed. He's not a better person, because even if you had changed and you were a better person, your brain would tell you, you know what? I may have been a piece of shit back then, but my victim has a lifetime in fucking hell. And I get off scot-free? No, I need to go pay for what I did.
He's not apologetic. He doesn't come across apologetic at all. It's so fucking disgusting. And I'm like, please let him get time, because like just because you're a celebrity, just because you have this church backing or whatever, you still need to be held accountable. And that's like the worst fucking crime to me.
And I feel like church people be the worst with SA, because in their head, if he's asked God for forgiveness and he's repented, then he's a new good fucking man. Right. Eat shit, bitch. That's one of the reasons I can't get with religion, because I'm supposed to be happy about going somewhere that fucking my rapist gets to go and other pedophiles. Yeah. Fuck you, bitch. No way. No. Yeah, oh my God. Gross. It's making me so mad right now.
It's really fucking gross.
How dare you? How dare you use God, bitch, to get out of prison? Yeah. You're sick. You're sick. Yep.
I hope he gets time.
Time for a cigarette. It's making me insane.
Also, did you hear anything about the song that YG released?
No.
He released a song called 2004 where he describes being essayed as a 13-year-old boy by a much older woman. It's such a Maybay situation. It's so fucking disgusting.
Does he refer to it as essay? And
yes. Yes.
Oh my God, yes. I could kiss him on the lips. Yeah. Because how many men do that?
And he says like he thought it was cool. You know what I mean? And it was his girlfriend at the time. They were 13 years old. They were in middle school. His girlfriend's aunt like picked him up, took her to took him to her house. He just talks about how he thought it was normal. He thought it was cool. It wasn't. He calls it what it was. He was great.
I love it. And I mean, I don't love it, but I love that.
Yeah, like, because, we've talked about it before. Men, this is very common to happen to young men. They think it's cool. They think it's like something to high five about.
The homies are giving props.
Yes. They don't realize that it was an assault.
And it's harmful.
And like when ego is involved and all that kind of shit, and like the male macho element of it all, like you don't want to call yourself a victim, especially when it's an older woman. Like, there's so many layers to this shit, but it's so common. I think we all know a man that this has happened to. Yeah. And it's just not acknowledged the same way as when older men are, preying on young girls. Right. But it's just as damaging, if not more, because they get away with it so much more often.
Yes. And it's kept, I feel like maybe it's kept quiet a little more.
Yeah. Yeah. It's really fucking gross. So I was just like, he needs to be congratulated for, and get all the support for acknowledging that. And he talks about how that's made him the way he is, why he has fucked up ways, why he turned to substances, why he didn't treat women correctly in his life growing up, and like just everything, like how much of an impact that had on him. It's so fucking disgusting.
God, I commend him. And I really hope that it's empowering to another little boy or another man to speak out, because it's
or
not
helps
like
people recognize it when it happens to, I want young boys to hear it and then
he's
be
not
like
a dork or a loser. Right, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
so then they might catch it and be like, wait, this isn't normal, and speak the fuck up about it.
Oh my God. I love him so much for that.
Yeah. It's called 2004. It's really fucking, it's sad, but it's also very empowering and like, good to see.
Oh my God.
Because that shit is awful. I know so many of my friends
another
that
fat
have
bitch
that have like babysitter stories and fucking older relative, friends of the family stories, you know, all this shit. Like, they need to recognize it for what it actually is. And sometimes that never happens, or sometimes it happens when they're like old ass adults, they realize it.
You know, I don't know if Mark ever wants to talk about it, but that happened to Mark, and he was fucking young.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
No, I wasn't going to go into detail. I was just saying, like, it fucked him up, and he did not realize until we got together, and, you know, we were having conversations, and I was like, dude, like, that's not a high fiver, like, you know, and how to break it down for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, I love that he did that song.
I also read about that other woman that was murdered on a conjugal visit, and saw her photo and the details of that. Did you know about, I know you mentioned that you knew another one had taken place.
Yeah, she was the first one.
Yes. I didn't realize, I thought she happened after. She was the first one.
And it was within a year. They both were murdered within a year.
She happened July 1st, and Stephanie Dowles happened November 13th.
So less than 6 months.
Yes. So Tania Thomas was with a man named Anthony Curry, also in Muir Creek Prison. He was in prison because he had, when in the 90s, he had shot his girlfriend in the head.
Oh my God.
And disposed of her body, but she survived. She was in a wheelchair and, you know, had a lot of difficulties, but she didn't die. But he was in prison for that. So I assume they started dating. It just goes back to, like, what are we fucking doing as women dating these men that have these fucking tendencies?
Like, I'm not victim blaming, right? But, and I know that there's people that are just amazing manipulators, right? However, there's nothing that someone could tell me regarding attempting to murder their girlfriend.
Yeah.
Paralyzing her for life, and me being like, I'd fuck him. Nothing. Nothing.
Give him my number. I'll write to him. What's his address? What?
I'll send him pictures of my tits.
What?
And you married him.
Yeah.
And I'm not victim blaming.
And I don't think this one was married to him, the Tania. I don't think she was married to him. And I think she was about to break it off.
Don't you have to be married?
So, I don't know. It didn't say. They don't have the same last name. The other ones did. And it said spouse. This one, I don't know. I don't know if this is like a ranch type situation, this prison, where you have like other...
They're doing shit all willy-nilly, bitch.
Yeah. So, same thing. Like, they're speculating that she might have been breaking it off. Break it off over the fucking phone.
Why
like,
would you
don't go on a visit and then at some point break it off with this person that you know... Like, he dumped the previous woman, young woman. He dumped her body. I think she was found in Richmond. And that, you know, she was nearly dead, survived. But same thing, was like, oh, she never woke up. Unsupervised visit. He strangled her.
Oh my God.
Like, less than 6 months apart. I was like in disbelief. Like, why are they not shutting down this fucking prison? What kind of prison is it?
Over. I don't think if you're a 4-time lifer, bro.
If you're a violent offender, period. Yes. I don't care if you're in there for just beating bitches, like, or whatever it is. Anybody, beating anybody.
I agree.
If you're a violent offender, you shouldn't have any type of visit that's not behind glass.
1,000% I agree.
Yeah. That's why I say, like, is this a ranch? Because you know how sometimes they're more lenient about privileges when it's that type of facility? I wonder.
I don't know.
I never heard of this prison before these 2 cases came about.
I didn't either. I did not. I've never heard of it. Some life advice. If you ever have doubts, think maybe, don't break up with a man in person. Don't do it. It's just not safe.
Even if no jail is involved.
Yeah.
Like, just in general.
No, just, don't. And
that's not a conversation that needs to be had in person.
And if you're breaking up, who fucking cares how you're doing it?
Right. A phone call is fine.
Yeah. Don't do it in person. You're like, just
keep
you're
yourself
really risking
safe.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
no.
don't owe a person that you're breaking up with
Fuck no.
anything, any type of contact. Like,
Fuck
you don't
no.
owe anybody shit. If you want to ghost them, go ahead and ghost them. I don't give a fuck. Like, you don't owe, if you're breaking up,
Irish
you're breaking
goodbyes
up.
all day.
Yeah. Fuck that.
Yeah, no, because you're really upping the percentage of something.
It could go
bad
wrong.
happening to you.
Yeah, it could really fucking go wrong.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck.
Yeah, July 1st and November 13th. Like, y'all didn't tighten up after the fucking first one? Less than 6 months?
4 months.
Yeah.
And from the sounds of it, it sounds like second dude fucking heard first dude's story and was like, he didn't do it right. I'm going to try it myself. I'm going to do it myself. I better do it better because I'm going to kill this bitch.
Or he did it and we still got our visits. So
Fuck it.
I'm going to do her too.
Because I'm sick of her. Bitch, you ain't going to leave me. How dare you
The
leave?
takeaway is that men are just not okay. Like, fuck.
And listen.
Doctors, surgeons, pediatricians, inmates, fucking Jesus Christ.
Women as a whole, we have to do better loving ourselves, because if we did, we wouldn't be looking for love and companionship
In a prison.
in a fucking prison where that man can't even give you those things.
Or with a drug addict.
He
Or
can-
with the fucking, like, the bar is in hell.
Like, the most they can do is run your motherfucking phone bill up. You're paying
Yeah.
for this fucking
This
fucker
fake ass companionship.
to tell you
Yeah.
he wants to marry you
And he's probably telling 10 other bitches because that's what the fuck they do. That's how they survive.
while looking at photos of fucking 20 other bitches' tits on his wall, dude. Like,
That's how they survive in prison.
Stop.
Is getting multiple women to fucking make the time go by. Like,
and you're worth
and I'm guilty
more.
of fucking with, drug addicts and fucking criminals and shit
Same.
too. That's why I say I speak from experience when I
Yep.
say sometimes the bar is in hell and we have to fucking do better. Like, you can't be that lonely and want companionship that much that you settle for that type of shit, because you when you're confident, you just don't do that. You would, like, where I am today,
Never.
I look back like, what the fuck was I thinking?
Some of the shit I even just tolerated in a relationship. Like, why?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As you get older, typically you start to love yourself more.
And you want better for yourself.
Absolutely. And your tolerance for fucking disrespect and bullshit is like out the door. And no part of you wants to be loved bad enough by somebody that you're willing to risk your fucking life, or that you're going to go look for a partner in a goddamn prison.
No.
Don't.
That's like a fucking
do it.
rehab. Like, would you go fishing for a boyfriend in a drug rehab? No, you wouldn't. So look at a prison the same way, if not worse.
Your
Like,
chances are better going to pick up a fucking houseless person.
Yeah.
Like, I'm serious. Like,
Yeah.
safety fucking wise, like, tripping.
Yeah, we got to do better. Especially those with kids, and like, we
God,
got to
yes.
fucking do better.
Agree. Okay, now.
Scary shit.
I can't believe he did it the exact same way.
I know. And had the same excuse. She just didn't wake up. I don't know what happened. Literally verbatim, the same shit the other dude said.
Did it say the age of that couple?
No, but I seen pictures and they look about the same age.
Really?
Like 50s ish. Yeah. Yeah. They're an older couple.
That was my first thought. I was wondering if
They weren't kids. Yeah.
if they were young.
Nope.
God,
So
were they
it's
really
awful.
not that it matters, but were they nice looking like the
Yeah. I mean, they weren't like disgusting fucking missing teeth looking people. They were like,
Yeah, the last I only asked just because that last woman was just jaw dropping beautiful.
Yeah.
But
Not that matters.
no, not at all. I just be wanting all the details.
Yeah.
Like a psycho.
Yeah, fucking crazy. I was reading about, so I have a book. I think Miss Melly had gave it to us, our lovely listener that we
Yes.
love so much. It's from Gabor Mate.
I love him.
Yeah, from, he was a Holocaust survivor as a young kid. He's spoken out a lot about
Very pro-Palestinian.
Yes. And he's like a therapist. He's like a doctor,
He's Jewish.
Psychologist, I think.
Yes.
I watched an interview that's circulating that he did, and he's talking about
Him and Finkelstein are my favorites.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm
They,
sorry.
they're really eloquent with words, and they have a good way of
Yes.
putting shit in perspective for people that are kind of resistant to looking at other people's
Yes.
experiences.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're really good at conveying shit. But he was doing an interview with somebody, and he was talking to her about her trauma, her childhood trauma and shit, and an experience that she had. And then he kind of flipped it, and he was like, he went on to talk about how siblings all have different parents.
Yep.
And I thought about it and just how different, like, for example, my kids.
Yep.
They all have a different mother.
For
but
sure.
like extremely different, not subtle differences, but like it could be economic, it could be fucking, maturity,
Yes.
it could be age wise, whatever.
Helicopter style
yeah.
parent, for sure.
But like when your kids are spread out, like even more so but also when they're close together, like, experience level, like when you're a new parent, you're going to parent totally fucking different
Yes.
than like child number 3.
Yep.
My kids, like, I've lived different lifetimes, like different lives.
He's got a totally different mama than
from
fucking the first
Mona
two.
and Stinkers.
Yes.
Exactly. And those two, even like Mona had a different parent than Stinkers. Like,
Yep.
she came first. And so, like, I learned like how to fucking parent with her, and then he came very shortly after. But just comparing like that parent to P's parent, even to Bunny's parent, worlds apart.
It's like
totally different people.
2 different women from fucking 2 different planets.
It's like 4 different women.
yeah,
4 different fucking completely different women.
I told Naya the other day, I gave her a hug and I was like, I love you, and I just want you to know, thank you for teaching me how to be a mom. And I know I didn't do everything right. And, I was a little tougher and stricter on you than I was Teeter regarding letting her go out, letting her do stuff. She's the first one. So,
Yeah.
but I did. I just fucking was like, I'm sorry, and I love you, and I acknowledge that I know Stevie's mom is a little different than Naya's mom.
Yeah. And they were born close together, and they're still very
less than 2 years apart.
Yeah. Me and Stinkers laugh all the time, and he sends me videos, or like we send them to each other all the time, and we laugh because it'll be like, when your mom parents the youngest sibling totally fucking different, and it's like a little kid at the table with sunglasses on, cussing, throwing shit, and it's like the older kid looking at the mom like, you're really gonna let this fly, like you're gonna, and he
good
sends
job,
it to me.
baby.
And you're like, anyways, and you're just like letting them do whatever. And he sends me that shit all the time, laughing because he's always trying to be like, Peas, like, you can't be cut. Like, yes, the fuck she can't. Like,
She's fine.
yeah, she's fine. She's
It's not hurting herself or
But
anyone else.
he's like, it's totally different. Like, and Mona even will like always tell Stinkers like, damn, like mommy and daddy are so fucking different from times have sure changed from how when we were growing up. Ain't that crazy? They're allowed to talk to boys on the phone. They're allowed to fuck, and they're like, that shit was not flying with them. Like, and it made me just think about it. Like, they really like cannot compare parents and the way they were brought up kind of at all. Like,
yeah. And I think about it, even twins, right? Mm-hmm. And we've said it a million times before. You can't parent every child differently, because what way of communication works for one may not work for the other. Like Teeter, you could fucking holler at her from down the hall, right?
yeah.
Naya,
You mean you
absolutely.
can't parent them the same?
Right. You can't parent them the same.
Yeah.
They each require a different communication style, and discipline works for one and not the other. So they 1000%
all have different parents.
Yes.
Yeah. And different upbringing, even though
Yours is
biologically.
like lifetimes, though. I get that.
Yes.
But
yes. Yeah, it's
Keep
crazy.
that in
I was
mind.
most strict with the older two.
Yeah.
And then like with Bunny, I was outside, like fucking getting in fights while I was pregnant with her, going to jail while I was pregnant with her. Like, it was very fucking different.
Very.
Off
That was
the walls with her.
That was your fucking Stella got her groove back, fucking period.
Not even that. I was just wild. Like, it wasn't even getting a groove back. It was just
Post-divorce.
like anger and fucking violence that the other two saw a little bit of. Like, I did get in fights in front of the older two. There were some times that they still remember.
Party City.
Like, peas don't have that experience at
No.
all. Like, I don't even think I've raised my voice at strangers in front of her.
She's like, mommy doesn't even yell at me.
Right, at people.
Or people.
At people, yeah.
Mommy's nice.
If I raise my voice a little bit, she's crying. So, like, it's very, very fucking different.
She's so sensitive.
Yeah.
You can't even if you wanted to,
yeah,
you
I
can't.
could not be that parent with her.
No. She will not respond well at all. And it'll be more damaging, you know?
Yeah.
So keep that in mind.
I just never, I mean, I thought about it before. Like, yeah, you know, I was a lot different then, you know, just because they were so separated age-wise. But
they're comparing notes like, yep, nope, she didn't do that here. Yep, she did that. Nope.
it's weird when you really sit and think. It's fucking weird.
It is weird. Keep that in mind if your kids ever bring that up to you. Or, you know?
And just laugh about it because it's like that. It's like that even when they're close together in age.
For
it's
sure.
like that.
Yeah. 1000%. We have a bunch of write-ins. And we have like 2 or 3 long ones. We have some birthdays.
Okay.
Not me fucking screenshotting photos of me with lips, looking at them.
What?
When I had lips.
Okay.
Was I just opened to pull up the write-ins, and there's like 5 older photos where like right after they got done last time because I'm so sad.
It's been a while.
Next Monday. Wait.
I mean, it's been a while since you had them done.
So
You
Monday.
haven't had them done since we were at the old place, right?
No, remember when we first went to this new place? Remember she did it, but only a little because she said,
Oh, I didn't.
remember?
I didn't think she did it at all.
A smidge.
Oh, okay.
Nothing
Okay.
noticeable.
Yeah, because all this time I've been like, you ain't had your lips done in years.
And Monday.
It's Monday? Oh, okay.
It'll be fucking 14 days. No, it'll be 16 days.
Oh.
You know, I'm counting down.
Yeah.
Marking it like a little kid at
That
Christmas.
went by fast.
It did, right?
Super fast. I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, I've been wearing a mask everywhere. I can't even look at myself in the mirror. It's really fucking with me bad.
It's not that bad. It's not even like a noticeable thing like that.
Well,
For you, but I mean, if you went a while, if you went like a month, you know, you would be just like normal, I think.
I would have to look in the mirror.
The longer you got used to it, yeah.
For sure. I just, oh God, help me. I can't wait. Okay, anyway, sorry. You know, I love to always fucking make it about myself. I
have one pulled up.
Okay.
Hey, Theas. I wrote in a few months ago asking for some advice regarding a bad breakup. You guys said exactly what I needed to hear. Thank you. I went through all the recent episodes, so now I'm back to the beginning and listening all over again. I got my besties blasting on my way to work, at work, doing laundry, dishes, etc. I work with headphones on. I know I must look like a weirdo crying, laughing to myself. It's crazy how you guys are able, to make complete strangers feel so seen. Growing up, I always felt like I was the only one going through shit, but this show has shown me we all have gone through it, and I aspire to be like you ladies. Just wanted to share, along with the glitter bombs, there's a site called poopsenders.com. Okay, I'm like, wait, what's glitter bombs? I was thinking of bath bombs, but it's like when you're sending it to like an enemy.
Remember?
Yeah, okay. There's a site called poopsenders.com. I selected elephant poop. There's also prank postcards on Etsy. I selected micro penis support group. All 3 went to his house and his work. Fuck him. I'd rather laugh than cry. And it made my heart grow half a size to know he was going to open them up and be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I just wanted to thank you both from the bottom of my heart. You've helped me through some of my worst times. It's crazy how all your listeners can identify so much with both of your stories. You show us we're all weirdos in the best ways possible. Thank you for being so brave and vulnerable. I feel like I'm bursting at the seams when I learn something new. I have to tell everyone and everyone around me. I have to tell anyone and everyone around me. That's kind of how I am. I mean, I think you are too. We're like reverse gatekeepers. Like we want to force you to learn everything we've learned and try everything we do. It's
I usually text or call you immediately when it's like something new that I think you'll be excited to hear about
it's
too.
It's reverse gatekeeping.
Absolutely.
We're like, we shove it down your throat.
Probably about 5 times.
Yeah. I've taught everyone I know what a Roman shower is. I've shared your podcast with friends, and we all text or talk in person when a new episode drops. I love that. We can't get enough. I identify so much with both of you. Listening to the show is just like when me and my cousin used to live together. We're both a little of each of you, and it's so crazy to hear other people sound just like us with stories like ours. We've lost touch somehow. This show makes me feel closer to her again.
Reach out.
Crystal, thank you for taking care of all those around you, especially the animals, and loving so unconditionally, even though it's exhausting, and being so real about the toll it takes to have such a big heart. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. Pat, I love your no bullshit attitude while simultaneously somehow being a softie. I appreciate the struggles you have faced and being so open, helping to break the stigmas around both mental health and sex work. Also, so beautiful inside and out. The amount of times I felt like breaking down crying, but would randomly think of Barbie feet sticking out of an asshole. Or Billy smoking in a stranger's car, and I immediately go to laughing uncontrollably. I'm also part of the Dead Dad Club. My pops was an addict, and we always had so much fun on our Sunday visits.
Yeah, they're fun.
Now I'm older. I realized we were doing a lot of sketch shit. He had a revoked license, so he had me driving him around when I was 11.
It's you.
It's me. Taught me the art of distracting workers in stores so he could walk into Cragen with an old car battery and walk out with a brand new one.
Billy.
While I was at the counter asking bullshit questions or flirting when I got older.
Oh my God.
Took me to get my first tat at 12, all because I wanted a second ear piercing and my mom said no, but I knew my dad would let me. My dad was good for that. He loved to go against my mom. Do you remember when my dad,
sorry, real quick sidebar, but do you remember when my dad took us to Telegraph and he signed for me to get my tongue pierced when we were like 15 and Charlene lost her fucking mind? Do you remember that?
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, it was great.
He said he didn't care what I got, so I said, fuck a piercing, I wanted a tattoo.
Oh my God,
Seconds later, on the back of his Harley, riding out. Taught me how to scam at a young age, but would always follow, do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, right. To this day, always looking for the next opportunity to present itself. But more so on the Robin Hood type, steal from the rich corporations, give to the poor.
Love it.
The poor being me. Laugh my fucking ass off.
I love it.
He used to buy and sell cars. Years after his death, I was still getting tickets for cars he put in my name without me knowing.
Oh my God.
He refused to own any property. That way, he never had to give anything to my mom. I roll.
Oh my God.
Scammers be scamming even after death. Taught me to be a pool shark. Pat, let's shoot some pool. I'm so down. Anyways, I love you, Theas. You're the highlight of my week. And from all the other write-ins, it seems like you are for everyone else too. Thank you for continuing to do the show, even on the days you don't feel like it. You show up for all of us. Are there plans for another in-person event? Yes, there is.
And oh my God, what a wonderful write-in.
And it's anonymous, but
oh, damn it.
We love you and thank you.
And
thank you so much for that.
I love that, you know, you can relate so tough.
Yeah.
And we are all a bunch of weirdos in a good way.
Yeah.
Embrace it. Okay. I'll do a short one in between because I have a long one.
Okay.
Nope, just kidding. I think they're hold on. God damn it. Do you want to, can you see this one in there? It's from Romy. Or do you want to read it?
I have it. You want me to read it?
Yeah, and then I have a long one.
Hey ladies, I wanted to send a special birthday shout out to my amazing partner, Desi. Her birthday is April 13th, my beautiful fire sign. I truly don't know how I would have gotten through the hardest time in my life, losing my mom, without her. She's been my rock through this whole transition, and I'm forever grateful for her love, patience, and unwavering support. She's such a beautiful soul, and I feel so lucky to walk through life with her. And of course, I have to remind her that karma is real, because after calling me daddy at my mom's memorial, the universe sent her an admirer in the form of a bold homeless man. She gave him some food, and ever since, he has all the audacity to ask, "What would your boyfriend do if we kissed?" Men are not okay. What would your boyfriend do if we kissed? Like, bro.
I'd be pissed if I was fucking feeding one of my fucking houseless people.
They turn horny on me. Like, stop.
You have fucking nerve, asshole.
I couldn't help but laugh because he said that shit directly. Because he said that shit directly to me the many times we crossed paths.
Oh my God. I would cry laughing. And be
Love
like,
you,
bitch.
Desi. Happy birthday. And thank you, ladies, for all the hard work y'all do.
Happy birthday, Desi. I don't want to kiss you, but
no, we're not gonna kiss.
No, but we love you. Yes. Happy birthday. Okay, so this one's a long one.
Okay.
We have another long one too. That's a good one. But trigger warning, this does involve sexual trauma.
Okay.
But there's not like details. So, hello, lovely Fria and Crystal. This is going to be a long write-in. Trigger warning, sexual trauma, but I don't get into details. I just re-listened to episode 200, Hanky. And a listener wrote in about her pelvic floor dysfunction and how she also, like you and like me, has urethra and vaginal struggles. Her vag muscles, like mine, are too tight. It reminded me I've always wanted to write in to HD about my own anxious ass over tight puss because I felt so alone while I was going through it due to the stigma. I never want people to feel alone in their vaginal struggles. I was so ashamed for so long, and it made it more difficult to deal with. So here's my story. I experienced an incident of sexual trauma as a young child that I can't fully remember. I was so young and I blocked it out. But what I do remember is from that point onward, I always felt panic, guilt, shame, terror. That terror, man. Anytime anyone brought up anything related to sex, it could be song lyrics, TV shows, kids at school, etc. But whenever sex was brought up, my heart would start pounding and I'd want to instantly cry. It felt like sex was this horrific, terrible thing I knew I'd eventually have to do. It wasn't a choice for me to make as an adult one day. I would just have to. The anxiety continued for about 6 to 7 years, and eventually I broke down and told my mom about the incident. She comforted me, and most of those feelings of guilt and shame went away. However, the feelings of fear and terror stayed in my body. Fast forward to teenage years, I started to become sexually active. I still had so much anxiety around the idea of penetration, so I was super slutty with everything up till penetration. There's a laughing face, that's why I laughed. I'm pretty proud of little anxious 12-year-old me being sexually liberated enough to have regular orgasms by dry humping my boyfriend. God damn it.
I'm proud of you too.
Right. But the issues around penetration remained. I tried to use a tampon. As soon as I put it in, I passed out and hit my head on the bathtub.
Oh, shit.
I tried to put a penis in me so many times, but it was like my vagina put up a wall and wouldn't allow it. Whenever I tried to put it in, it would produce a searing pain like a literal knife cutting into me. My boyfriends throughout my teens were really understanding and didn't want to hurt me, luckily, but that didn't help me. I was so upset and felt like a failure. I couldn't even get fucked when I tried. It felt like my body was betraying me. I even asked my boyfriend if I could get blackout drunk, if I got blackout drunk and gave him permission to do it while I'm unconscious, would he? Thank God he said no. The more I tried to get a penis in me, the more my body put up its defenses. This is the part that's going to make you feel rage. I went to a gynecologist at 17 thinking there must be something structurally wrong with my vagina. Why was my pussy wet as hell, yet I couldn't obtain penetration? Maybe my hymen was super thick and needed to be opened with a scalpel, lol. I was so sure that there was something wrong with my hymen. When I arrived, he said he wanted to take a look and check. This is the male doctor, by the way. I told him I'm afraid of the speculum, but he told me I could trust him and that he'd only use a finger, one. Not a whole speculum, not more than one finger. So I said, if I tell you to stop, I need you to promise you will stop. And he agreed.
I'm already getting so fucking angry.
Oh, shit, my heart's hella beating. Well, that's not what happened. And when I panicked and asked him to stop, he didn't. He kept his fingers, multiple, inside and didn't listen to me. This experience reinforced my fears and made everything 10 times worse. Oh my God, it's making me so mad. Never again will I go to a male gynecologist. I didn't know back then that that was actually sexual assault. So I kept seeing the doctor. He diagnosed me with a condition called vaginismus, which is involuntary contractions of the vaginal muscles, which can cause horrible pain, especially during any penetration. He gave me dilators, which are basically medical dildos, of different sizes to practice inserting into my vagina each day to eventually work up to the largest dick size. They didn't work. They only caused more anxiety. After many months, finally trusting myself to use my own judgment, I decided I'd just stop trying to put anything in there. What was the point? Eventually, when I was 19, after slutting it up, getting fingered, eaten out, sucking mad dick, pegging, mutual masturbation, etc., I found a really sweet boyfriend who I was extremely honest with regarding my trauma. He told me he just wants me to feel good and we'd never do anything that hurts or didn't want to. It's fine if we don't have sex. Well, I guess that's all my body needed. A 2-year break from inserting anything and a warm, loving partner who wanted to support me. One day I decided to get on top of him and I was able to have penetrative sex for the first time.
Oh, thank God.
I felt so powerful and proud of myself. Getting past that first hurdle was a game changer, but I'd be lying if I said I never dealt with that again. I had a 2-year period from 18 to 2020 where I couldn't have penis penetration sex because I was in a stage of my life where I was super anxious and tense all the time. I wasn't able to afford the expensive pelvic floor physical therapist in my city, so I watched YouTube videos about pelvic floor health. I learned some yoga, got to know my body, prioritized myself and my pleasure, not anyone else's, went to therapy, broke up with a toxic boyfriend, and a year later was able to have penetrative sex again without pain. All this has taught me that people need to listen to our bodies more. Mm-hmm. Capitalism encourages us and profits from us ignoring our bodies so we can get back to work every day. Listening to our bodies is truly a form of resistance. I'm grateful for my years spent being a horny beast that was forced to get creative with sex by not being able to center penetrative sex. I've learned so many amazing ways to have sex without penetration. I actually feel lucky that my first sexual experiences were atypical. Our patriarchal culture often expects and pressures us to prioritize penetrative sex.
Yes.
Now I'm a sexpert, if you will. As an adult, I feel so connected to my body and my partners. I'm great at communication and I'm confident as hell. not with anything else. LOL, only sex. Anyway, sorry for the length of this write-in. I just don't want anyone else to feel like they're not normal or they're broken or they're worthless like I did for so long. If your body is telling you something, please listen to it. Your body deserves respect and pleasure no matter what, and don't let anyone else define what that means for you. Love, Rosie in Oakland. You can share my name because I'm not ashamed.
That's really good. That you listen to your body, and like, I'm so sorry that you had that fucking experience with that doctor trying to just force something to happen that it wasn't time for it to happen.
God damn, it makes me feel
I feel fucking rage. Yeah. Oh my God. But yeah, like, it just wasn't time. And when it was time, it happened. Like, fuck putting pressure on yourself and trying to force some shit. And making yourself uncomfortable for somebody else's comfort.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that in any part of your life, even if it's not physical, if it's just mental discomfort, if it's just, don't make yourself uncomfortable for somebody else.
Yes.
Just, yeah, what the fuck?
And I think for so long, it's everywhere. You know that's what you do.
You're expected to in so many different areas of your fucking life. And no, you don't have to.
You have to cater to your fucking man.
No, you don't.
So he don't leave you, stupid.
Oh my God.
Dude, the first time I ever had sex, when I lost my virginity, I did not do it because I wanted to. I did it because I felt like I had to. Like, my friend was banging in the other room. I felt like...
Was I the friend? No.
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 Not that time.
Not that time.
But I felt like I had to, you know? I can't explain it. And it was horrible.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. It was painful and it just, ugh. But listen to your bodies.
Yeah, for sure.
And don't cater to anybody but yourself.
I'm glad that all worked out.
Yeah. You want me to read this other one or you want to read it?
There was one I had up. Hold on.
Mama, he's crazy. Crazy over me.
No, go ahead.
Okay. Unless you want to read this one. You want to read it?
No.
Fuck you.
I just read something that pissed me off, but I'll address it when we're done.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Okay. The fuck did one of y'all do?
Yeah. People just need to understand everything ain't your place. You know what I'm saying? And like,
boundaries are overstepped quite often.
Quite often. Way more often than I'm comfortable with. And I'm going to start cussing you bitches out. The ones that do cross them lines.
Yeah.
And, you know, I try to be really mature and handle things properly and all that type of shit. But like, y'all really be pushing it.
A key, an indicator is if we haven't spoke about it, don't.
It's not your place.
Bring it up
and
to
also
us.
Don't assume, like, we are a community, but do not assume that things that bother you are going to also bother me, or that we're going to be on the same page about everything, or it's your place.
Or just don't assume.
Yeah.
Don't make up the story in your head and then address us as such. Like, don't do that, you know? It's rude. I don't know if anyone's told you, but it's rude.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to let them know, so don't you worry.
Well, whoever did it.
You'll know.
God damn it. Okay. Here we go. I know exactly what you're talking about, by the way. Hey, beautiful aunties, a relatively new listener, but your show has truly become my go-to comfort show, and I'm just so goddamn happy that I found you guys.
Thank you.
I have a question for both of you. Sorry in advance if this is long. Trigger warning, essay, and suicide. I have a family full of mentally ill people. Welcome.
Join the club. We love you.
It has been really difficult to grow up with two parents that were really fucked up by their parents. Yep. My father was beaten by his father, and my mother was essayed by hers. They're both good people, but I've realized through many years of therapy that they are terrible parents. Yeah, I'm a firm believer that not everyone should have parents. I mean, have
Should have
children.
kids, yeah.
Yeah. As a child, I was neglected and endlessly disappointed. Thankfully, I was never abused. I was always treated like I was wrong or bad, a burden, or had to live in a household with people who were always fighting with each other. I used to dream that these people just adopted me and my real parents were out there somewhere, like you, Fria. It got so bad that I tried to kill myself when I was 14 via overdose. My parents divorced, and a few years later, my mom was diagnosed with bipolar 1. I have to admit I have had to admit her countless times. She's stable right now, but it was through this that I found out about her abuse from her father. Unfortunately, my younger sister and I financially support my mother, which has also been extremely hard. I never expected to do this, and the burden of it is really intense. Absolutely, I 100% fucking get it. My older sister dipped out on her share of responsibilities as she too is having a baby. My sister used to be a consultant for a huge blue chip company, but decided to give it all up to become a shaman. I know. You can't make this shit up. I'm 35 years old now and have recently decided that I want to cut my entire family off. Every time they insert themselves into my life again, I go back to being that 14-year-old little girl who thought she had no other option but death. God, that sentence is fucking heartbreaking. So I cut them off all at once. No one told me that my sister had her baby, and I have stopped being invited to the very rare family dinners. It hurts to see the reality of being alone in the world. I've realized just how few friends I actually have as I keep finding people in the world that have the toxic traits of my family members. So I literally have Marie Kondo'd my entire fucking life. And it's pretty fucking lonely. I know what sorts of people I don't want. And it's like I am starting everything all over again. I look at you guys as such a great source of inspiration. I love you and am so envious of your bond as friends, your strength, your humor. Hello Dysfunction has honestly been getting me through this really dark time of loneliness. I really hope to have a friendship like it. You're gonna make me cry. I really hope to have a friendship like yours one day. My question is, how do you live with your decision of cutting off your family? I know you have each experienced patches of not engaging with your respective families. Thank you so much for taking the time to read this. I love you both so much. T.
For me, like having my kids has made the transition like really easy for me. And I always tell myself, I know I did the right thing because I don't miss them. And I don't like feel sad about their absence. It's more like a relief. I do have some contact with family members here and there. Like I talked to a cousin earlier today that I ain't talked to in hella months. And it was just a quick exchange about the gross Popeye's meal, the pickle meal. Just a random text.
Right.
But like, you know, I ain't talked to him in like 9 months. Like, you know, but that was just a random brief exchange. Like it
was
little,
important.
Yeah, it'd be little shit like that every now and then from like a random family member. But there's a lot that I haven't talked to in a few years. And I don't know. I just, social media keeps me really busy and makes me not feel lonely. I have a lot of friends. A lot of friends I've never even met in person, but that are actual friends that I've made on social media. I really use that like to help with any loneliness I've ever felt. Like that's been my go-to. Like I was really like big on Twitter for like a while years ago. And Instagram has been like really good. Just for like interacting and finding people with similar humor and shit. And
so if you, I know you said that, I don't know if by cutting off your family, you meant your mother that you financially take care of as well. So
I think it came across like everyone.
Yeah.
The sister, everyone.
Yeah, Yeah. But well, I only say that because if you are able to, I highly recommend you join Patreon. You will find so many like-minded people. I mean, seriously, the
Our
chat
chat is really treated like a community, and
everybody really fucking cares about everybody.
Yeah.
There's people, from Patreon that have become besties and hang out in real life and talk on the phone. And that would be my number one recommendation.
For safe, like-minded people.
Yeah. And I believe it's the $5 tier in every tier.
Yeah. You can get on the chat, and you'll also have access to the Discord, which I also want to get more familiar with. I get notifications all day, so I know people are on there, but I haven't got familiar with it over there yet. But I plan to. But I know it's very active.
Yes.
And there's people there.
And there's a good way on the Discord is there's different rooms for a million different categories. So jump in one.
Not a million, but
you know what I mean. There's more than 10. And then if that's not an option, the Hello Dysfunction Facebook group as well.
Yeah, that for sure. There's a lot of people active on there too.
Yes. And I just think those would be good resources. And I hate that you're so lonely. It makes my heart hurt.
It'll get better though.
It does.
It will.
I think with everything, it's always time, you know? It's not linear either. But there's always a 6-month adjustment period, where you're re-regulating to the new life.
Yeah.
But let us know how it goes. And
for sure. Keep in touch.
And I wish you the best. And I think you made the best decision for yourself and your nervous system.
You got to look out for you, especially as you get older, and you want to help people, but if it's hurting you in any way, at some point you got to make a choice, and you're going to always have to put yourself first, because who else, you have to put yourself first, and you decide what type of shit you're going to put up with and the treatment of you.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. We have this is a small one. It says, love the fuck out of you two. You make my day every time I see there's a new episode out. You give great advice, super down to earth and real. Y'all are so amazing. Thank you for being you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
They need to shut up. Time to go.
I think someone's at the fucking door.
Thank you guys
so much
for
hanging with us.
Yeah.
A big longie.
You get a long episode again.
And
we love you.
Absolutely. Check out Patreon.
Subscribe on our YouTube, please, because we are trying to grow that slowly but surely.
Yeah, if you're able to, listen to the episode there. That would be wonderful. That's all I got. Suck it easy.
Go to bed.
Thank you.